Well, Douglasville and Fulton County police want to know the true extent of an alleged drug operation that targeted Metro students. The drug, marijuana edibles.
The hidden camera Fox 5 I-Team investigation first exposed the home-based company. It's called Trill Treats. And Fox 5 I-Team reporter Randy Travis returns with why authorities are so concerned about this.
Well, think about it, Sine and Russ. How many parents or teachers would be immediately suspicious if they found brownies or fruity pebble treats wrapped up in a kid's book bag? Not only are these marijuana edibles showing up more and more in local schools, they've become so profitable, it's leading some to kill. In September, 2 men shoot to death Stephen Mayer, stealing cash and boxes of pot-laced brownies from his Lithonia home.
That's the newest trend right now, edibles. They sat out and camped out for up to 2 hours.
In April, kids at 2 different Rockdale County schools are hospitalized after eating pot brownies offered to them by other students.
It's more dangerous than the traditional way.
And just this month, Ade Simmons is busted in Douglasville after a Fox 5 I-Team hidden camera investigation caught him running an edibles manufacturing and delivery service out of his Fairburn home. You're selling drugs to kids. You realize that, don't you? How much money did you make from this? He named his company Trill Treats. This is what undercover Douglasville police officers bought. These alleged infused brownies with icing on them in the back seat here. And this is what else was for sale, apparently being delivered to another location, also in the front seat. A box of these goes for about $100. Imagine how many of these trays Mr. Simmons sold during the time he was in business.
So I have a lot of friends who are trying to help me.
The Fox 5 I-Team earlier paid him $100 for this box of a dozen edibles. We made sure authorities took possession after a lab showed those brownies tested positive for the active ingredient in marijuana at levels 3 times higher than the accepted dosage in pot-friendly states like Colorado.
I'll be everywhere with either baking it, cutting, delivering.
According to his Trill Treats Instagram page, this 19-year-old entrepreneur is quite the baker, quite the salesman. A Fox 5 I-Team employee became one of his 4,100 followers and, just like Douglasville police, was able to see samples and the price list for his product line. Brownies, Fruity Pebbles, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, treats guaranteed to get you geeked. He even posted a video of what appears to be bags of marijuana and ingredients needed to start the baking process. Read the comments, and it's clear Simmons had people pushing his products in Metro schools. You need more people selling at Westlake, a customer complains. One person keeps selling out in the morning. Need to get some of these guys at Banneker, writes another. I will eventually. And to another student customer, meet me by the gym before second period.
So you do the colleges and everything, right?
Well, I have my sellers to do it. I make sure, I'll be doing it.
That all of this is going on up under the teachers and the principals and the security guards and the police officers that are there on the grounds.
These 3 moms asked us not to show their faces. They say their high school kids told them they bought marijuana-laced treats from Simmons. One girl wound up in the hospital after eating too much.
You're getting kids to sell drugs in the school. Not when you go out to the school on the street, not when you go to the store, but in school where we have to send our kids.
But Trill Treats isn't the only game in town.
Never to this day that I would have ever imagined that now we're worried about edible drugs.
Just this year, his deputies arrested 2 students who brought homemade brownies into Heritage High School. Another faces charges for sharing this professionally baked marijuana edible with a fellow student at Edwards Middle School. For a sheriff who started off his career as a school resource officer, this new form of drug trafficking is frightening. What was your reaction when you heard they were that young?
It was very alarming because if it can get into the middle schools, then it can get into the hands of the elementary school.
I'm working on a lot of different things. I'm trying to just figure out what to do.
Meanwhile, the mastermind of Trill Treats faces 5 felony counts and remains in the Douglas County jail without bond. Since Simmons' arrest, that Trill Treats Instagram account has disappeared, but not before allowing investigators to see how a 19-year-old put together his own thriving business, from manufacturing to packaging to marketing, sales, and delivery, right up until the day police decided this sale was final. And as for that homicide over cash and edibles in Lithonia, DeKalb police say they still have no solid leads, but it really shows how valuable this stuff can be to some people of the criminal element.
Yeah, and how worrisome it can be because these young people don't realize how potent these edibles are, right?
And that's why the Rockdale County Sheriff says that he's going to have to educate his community to make sure that parents and the kids know that if you eat some of this stuff, it doesn't give you an immediate high. It takes a while and you wind up eating way too much of it. What really bothered him was that it showed up in middle schools. And we're not talking even high schools now, we're talking middle school kids. And as he pointed out, if it's middle school, what's stopping it from getting to the elementary schools as well?
Right. The sheriff even mentioning that this form of marijuana can be actually more toxic than smoking it.
If you eat too much of it, and what kid is not going to eat a lot of brownies or anything sweet?
Yeah, Fruity Pebbles.
Right.
Thanks so much, Randy.
Okay.
Appreciate
Randy,
it.
thanks.